INFJ. People think they know what mental toughness looks like. They imagine loud voices, unshakable stares, the kind of strength that boasts about never breaking. But you know better. Because your toughness is not in the noise you make, it's in the storms you've survived without telling anyone you were drowning. It's in the way you carry scars like hidden constellations only you can see. It's in the way you bend so you don't break, in the way you choose compassion when cruelty would be easier, in the way you quietly rebuild your soul after it's been shattered, again and again and again. Today, we're going deep into 14 reasons why INFJs are mentally tougher than others, not in the ways the world expects, but in the ways only another INFJ would recognize. 1. You've mastered the art of enduring emotional earthquakes. You don't just feel emotions. You feel all of them, all at once, like an earthquake under your ribs that no one else can hear. Most people break under that weight, they suppress, they run, they distract themselves. But you've learned to ride the quake without falling apart. You let the tremors move through you. You don't fight the fact that life shakes you, you adapt. And this is mental toughness in its purest form. Because it's not about avoiding the quake, it's about standing while the ground moves beneath you. Your emotional resilience is not weakness in disguise, it's the quiet proof that you can walk through chaos and still keep your center. 2. You can withstand the loneliness most people fear. Solitude to you isn't empty, it's sanctuary. While others chase constant company to avoid their thoughts, you have made peace with your own mind, even when it's heavy, even when it's dark. You've sat with your shadows long enough to name them, and that's something the majority never dare to do. Remember that night you sat alone with no one to text, no one who would understand, and you realized, I'm okay. I'm enough right now. That's when you discovered your own company was not a punishment, but a power. INFJ toughness is forged in solitude, because you've walked through the valley of silence and found yourself stronger at the end. 3. You see the truth, and still choose to care. The world can be ugly, and you've seen it, seen the lies, the betrayals, the manipulation. You've felt the sting of discovering someone's intentions were never pure. Most people become cynical and closed off after that, but you still choose to care, even knowing it could hurt again. That's not naivety, it's mental fortitude. It takes far more strength to love with open eyes than to shut yourself away in bitterness. 4. You carry other people's pain without collapsing. Your empathy isn't light, it's a weight you willingly pick up, even when your own heart is already tired. You've listened to stories that haunted you for days, absorbed emotions that weren't yours, and still found a way to function. Most people think mental strength is about building walls, but yours comes from holding the door open while the flood rushes in, and somehow not drowning. 5. You've survived the shattering of your idealism. As an INFJ, you start life believing in goodness, in the possibility of a world where people mean what they say. Then, reality hits. People lie. People take advantage. Your dreams get laughed at. And your heart cracks. But here's the difference, you don't stay broken. You gather the pieces, you keep the lessons, and you build a new kind of hope. One that's unshakable because it's rooted in truth, not fantasy. 6. You know how to suffer in silence without losing yourself. This is the part no one talks about. The nights you cried into your pillow and still showed up the next day. The heartbreak you carried to work with a smile. The private battles you never spoke of because you knew no one could fix them for you. You don't broadcast your pain, and that's not because you're pretending, it's because you know you can survive it, and because you refuse to be defined by it. 7. You understand the strength in walking away. Some think strength is about staying and fighting no matter what. You know better. You've walked away from relationships that drained you, from jobs that crushed you, from dreams that no longer fit. And each time, it tore something from you, but you did it anyway, because you value your peace over your comfort. 8. You've learned to read between the lines of life. Your ability to see patterns, to sense the shift in someone's energy before they speak, to connect invisible dots, it makes you mentally stronger because you're rarely blindsided. You prepare, you adapt, and you survive blows that leave others reeling. 9. You endure the weight of being misunderstood. Being an INFJ often means living in a world that doesn't get you. You speak, and they twist your meaning. You love deeply, and they question your motives. You try to help, and they push you away. And yet, you keep showing up as yourself, even when the world hands you 1,000 reasons to be someone else. 10. You thrive in the gray areas others avoid. Life isn't just black and white to you, it's 1,000 shades of complexity. You've learned to sit with contradictions, to hold compassion for people who've hurt you, to forgive without forgetting. That flexibility, that refusal to demand simple answers, is a form of mental endurance most people don't have. 11. You've survived emotional burnout and come back stronger. Every INFJ has hit that wall, the one where you have nothing left to give. Where your empathy feels like a curse. Where you almost go cold. But the fact that you've rebuilt your capacity to love, to trust, to feel again, that's toughness. Because coming back from burnout means you've chosen to rise instead of rust. 12. You protect your inner world like sacred ground. You know when to say no, you know when to close the door. You know when to keep your thoughts to yourself because they're not ready for the world to handle. That boundary setting, especially for someone wired to give, is one of the hardest, most courageous acts there is. 13. You've turned pain into purpose. Every wound you've carried has either taught you something or fueled your mission to help others. You don't just endure suffering, you recycle it into meaning. This alchemy, this ability to transform hurt into healing, is what makes your strength unshakable. 14. You know the secret of soft power. The loudest person in the room isn't always the strongest. Your strength is quiet, subtle, and enduring, the kind that doesn't need validation to exist. You win battles without anyone knowing you were fighting. You influence without forcing. You endure without applause. INFJ, you are not tougher because you've avoided pain. You are tougher because you've been through it all, and you've chosen to stay kind. Because you know that true strength isn't about being untouched, it's about being touched by everything, and still choosing love over fear.